2020, the year of pain, disease, and some bomb-ass music. Anyways, kittens, as we all know, 2020 really hasn't been the hottest year for the human race, but there is something this year that has been thriving, if I do say so myself, and that thing that has been thriving is the quantity of amazing albums we have received. Sure, every year is gonna have some hot fucking ass that drops. In 2020, for example, these trash heaps of albums somehow got cleared for release. Good Intentions, Brown Boy 2, Emergency Tsunami, and last but not least, Emergency Tsunami bonus version, all of which are the equivalent to getting spit on in your ear. Wait, those were all by Nav? So comes the end of the year, and what better way to celebrate the end times by celebrating this year's best projects. Alright kittens, this is going to be a top 5 list solely based on my opinion. So if you have a problem with it, you can take it up with my lawyer.
Hiya, I'm your lawyer.
I feel that a top 5 truly isn't doing this year's music full justice, so before I give my top 5, I am going to give you a handful of honorable mentions. Rapid fire. Begin. Monophobia, Scorpion Queen, Only for Dolphins, The Melo Pack, 31520, Unlocked, Blood In Blood Out Mix, SuperGood, Music to Be Murdered By, Alfredo, IDK and Friends 2, EP, A Written Testimony, Nectar, It Was Good Until It Wasn't, Man on the Moon 3, Skin, Everything, This Does Not Exist, Good News, Anime Trauma and Divorce, Niagara, I'm Allergic to Dogs, RTJ4, She Already Decided, The Slow Rush, After Hours, It Is What It Is, In Every Fall, and Pray for Paris. There you have it, 30 amazing recommendations that you're gonna go listen to right now. If you don't, you're not a kitten anymore. You're a stinky dog. In case you don't want to go back and pause to see what albums I said, I included all of the honorable mentions and the upcoming top 5 in the description for your convenience. Now that we got that part of the video out of the way, let's get into the main reason you kittens are here, my top 5 albums of 2020.
I need a feel of my perception of love, your attention, I'm addicted. Is this more?
It may be surprising to see a 7-song album that only released less than a month ago to be in my top 5 list. However, that just shows the amount of care and detail that was clearly put into this project. As Rav stated in his announcement tweet for this album, this is easily his most personal project yet. Every song is relatively simplistic, but all tackle big events and flaws that Rav experienced or sees in himself, which in turn creates a very relatable experience for the listener. With Rav being the executive producer for this project, he made sure that every instrumental fits his sound and the atmosphere of this record perfectly. The EXO-produced album, I'm On To Me, proves to be on par with Rav's 2015 underground classic, Beneath the Toxic Jungle, thus solidifying it at the number 5 spot on my list. Circles is the first posthumous album by the late musician Mac Miller. As far as first listens go, this has to be the best first listen I have ever had. It honestly just hit completely different and left me in tears by the end of it. Ever since the first single Good News came out, I just knew this was going to be a beautiful project and a contender for album of the year. What more is there to say about this album that hasn't been said already? With it being a spiritual successor to Mac's 2018 album Swimming, it was automatically destined for greatness. It's wild to think that Eminem dropped Music to Be Murdered By the same night as Circles. Who listened to Eminem's album? Who? I'll kill you if you did.
So hold my hands and dance with me tonight.
I had no idea what the fuck a Spillage Village was before the first single released. At first I didn't have very high hopes for this album as I wasn't familiar with Spillage Village at all. But I'm so glad I went into this album with 0 expectations. I think if I did go into it with expectations, I would have been kind of disappointed. The style of this album is completely different from all of Spillage Village's previous records. On top of ditching the whole Bears Like This stick of their album titles, they also completely switched up the production and vocal style. I forgot this album released, but then I started listening to it while I was studying, and that fit the vibe perfectly.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
From the production on every track to the verses on every track, the title of this album perfectly fits the atmosphere, that being Limbo. After waiting for 2 years since Amine's 2018 album 1.5, I have been desperate to see where he would go next as an artist. After the first single Shimmy came out, I had a feeling this project was going to be a top 5 contender for me. Then whenever Compensating dropped, I knew it was going to be a top 5 contender. To say that I was blown away by this album would be a huge understatement. I may be a little biased because this classic was kind of released on my birthday. final album by Logic. That's honestly really weird to say. I was sad to see that this was gonna be his retirement album, but also really happy for him at the same time. If you don't know, I've been a fan of Sir Robert Tarantino since the release of Undeniable back in 2012. It's been an amazing journey watching him grow as an artist and person as a whole. Sure, Logic had a pretty rough 2019 with the release of his 2 worst albums, Supermarket and Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. But hey, you know I got that framed Supermarket poster.
Yeah, I wasn't joking.
Anyways, I'm glad I never gave up on him as an artist because I knew he would have to pull through for the sequel to his debut album. There you have it, kittens. That is the official top 5 albums of 2020. Everybody else with a different list is wrong, by the way. Anyways, I know it's December and all, but yesterday I was just thinking, and I just want to say fuck it and just go to the
beach, let's go get a wave. They say what they gonna say. Have a drink, clink, found a Bud Light. Bad bitches like me, it's hard to come by. The Patron, let's go get it down. The sound, yes I'm in the zone. Is it 2, 3? Leave a good tip. I'ma blow all of my money and don't give a shit.
I'm on the floor.